Hello everyone, you're welcome to today's challenge. So far the Creative Milliners Association challenge has been going on for the past few days and today is day 15. Yay! First of all, I want to welcome everyone to this today's presentation, and I want to specially appreciate the boss lady, by no other person than the founder and the president of this association of Lady Becky Uche. I want to tell her this is a great initiative. God bless you. So guess what we'll be talking about today? Today is day 15th, and we're going to be talking about beads. Yes, beads in millinery. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Okay, so we have them different types. We have the stone beads, we have the crystal bead, we have the coral bead, we have the sand bead. There are so many of them, countless numbers. So today we are going to be looking at beads in millinery. How do we apply it? What kind of effect does it have in the world of millinery? So once again, I want to welcome you lovers of millinery and my colleagues in the you will agree with me that for the record, beads have long been one of the versatile material and has effects in millinery and headwear design. So today we are going to be looking at the effects of beads in crafting fascinating headpieces. From history, types of designs, techniques, what it symbolizes, and professionalism. So aside from the fact that beads bring life, texture, and light to headpieces, beads can transform a simple fascinator into a statement piece of art. It adds sparkle, it adds rhythm, it tells a story when we use bead in crafting fascinating headpieces. So why beads? Why do we have to introduce it in fascinating headpieces, if you may ask? Well, for the simple reasons, they catch light beautifully, they complement fabric so well, they provide both tradition and modern elegance. In millinery, beads can be a focal point, just in cases as seen in crowns and tiaras. It's also an accent and a connector, as seen in beaded wire work, in fringes, and in embroidery. Now, there are historical and cultural significance of beads way back in history, and a lot of milliners draw inspiration from this. For instance, in the African heritage, beads have long symbolized spirituality, heritage, and royalty. Talk about the Yoruba, the Zulu tribes, and the Igbo tribes. Beads is a significant part of their culture when it comes to fashion. How about the European millinery tradition? Way back in the 19th to 20th century, fascinators and bridals headpieces often use glass beads, stone beads, pearls, and crystals to adorn themselves. Then let's talk about the Asian influence. Okay, so for instance, in India, the beads were used of gold, coral, and jade, signifying prosperity and protection for them, often adorning bridal headpieces. I trust that understanding these roots, it will help us in millinery to create designs that are not just beautiful but meaningful. So at this point, I would like to let us know that beads serve different artistic and functional purposes. So I would like us to look at the different type of beads and how they can be applied in millinery. So first of all, let's look at the seed beads. These can come in rounded shape or cylindrical forms, all in uniformity, and they can be applied in the world of millinery. They can come as glass or plastic, and this is an example of the seed beads. Okay, so these are the round shaped ones, and these are the cylindrical shaped ones. They can also be longer than this, and like I said, they can come in glass form or plastic. So the second type of bead I would like us to talk about is the crystal beads. They come with a sparkling and luxurious characteristics, just as you can see here. These are the glass beads. They are sparkly, especially in a dark place, and even as you can see now, and they are produced from cut glass. Example we have as crystal beads just like this. We can also qualify the Swarovski crystals as part of this class of beads produced from cut glass. I personally love to work with Swarovski crystals. Another type of bead I would like us to talk about is the pearl bead. They come with this luxurious soft glow. You can see they give this calmness and softness. They come in different colors and different sizes. A typical example is what is used to produce this piece here. Okay, they are pearls. They give this soft and calmness that comes with it. Okay, and it is luxurious in a class of its own. Another type of bead I like us to talk about is the metal beads. Yeah, the metallic bead. Just as the name goes, they are made out of, out of brass, out of gold or silver, and they come with this polished texture that accompanies them in characteristic. We also have the wooden beads. Yeah, they are polished, and just as the name goes, they are made from wood. Yeah, most of them depict cultural then heritage. Lastly but not the least, let's talk about the gemstones. Yeah, the gemstone beads. This presents with this natural shine, and they are mainly symbolic. Most of the time they are made out of quartz or jades. While working with beads, there are certain techniques that we must apply. Yes, because it is all about craftsmanship, and the best application gives the best result. So let's just quickly run through that. So one of the major techniques while working with beads is the hand stitching or embroidery. This involves when you use a beading needle to work with beads directly on fabrics. This is majorly called embroidery, and it gives this luxurious effect on the finished fabric. Another type of bead technique I would like to talk about is wired bead work. This is where you have to talk. This is where we talk about using wire in working with beads and application. In these cases, we use such technique to make tiaras and halos. They also have their natural and perfect appearance at the end of the production. Another type of bead we'll talk about is beaded appliques. Yeah, this for a typical example of this is the brooch. Yeah, the brooch. This one is already done. What you just need to do is to attach it to a base of a product, and then it gives that soft finished glow without any stress at all, because it has been pre-made for just attachments. We also have the beaded fringes. Yeah, this is when you use a particular type of strong rope or wire to to attach beads to each other to give that movement that movement glow when you are using an attire, or you want something that has been made with beads in the string. Okay, this kind of cases we use them in red carpet events or in red carpet fascinators. Okay, they are ideal mainly for a stage kind of performance to give that movement and effect that comes with the bead. Now, how about glue setting or hot fix techniques? That's another way to apply bead, but in this aspect you need to apply a serious caution so as to maintain the natural quality of the bead, so as not to tarnish it because of the hotness, the hot effect that goes with the bead. You want to learn more about bead application? I want to invite us to be a part of Creative Milliners Association. That is where we can learn far and wide and more other things of millinery and how to apply beads. So what do you look at when you are designing a beaded headpiece? Let's see what we can look at when designing a beaded headpiece. So what do you pay attention to when working with a beaded headpiece? At this point, I would like to say that you need harmony and balance when working with beads, because they are more of delicate material and you need to apply them with caution for best results. So aside from harmony and balancing, you also need to check for texture. Yeah, texture is very important. You also need to look out for the colors, how the colors are harmonizing with each other. You have to also scale it and weigh it so that it does not get too heavy, because when you apply so much in a particular area, it becomes too heavy. For example, I am wearing a beaded beret here, and you can see if the beads are so heavy, it will not give me that comfort and that balancing I need on my head. So there is a balancing and a texture and the harmonizing of colors to make this beautiful beaded beret that I'm putting on right now. So you need to look at all that. It's very, very important when working with beaded headpiece, so as to give you a beautiful theme consistency. When working with beads, you need quite a number of tools to work with beads. I will just run through the fact that we need pliers, beaded pliers when working with beads. We need bead threads. We need glue in certain cases. Yeah, we need fine millinery wire to pass through the beads. We need the beaded needle. Yeah, and we also need a base material where we can work on when working with beads. Now let's look at some beautiful inspiring designs when working with beads as seen on the screen. Yeah, you can have them, like I said, on your finished beret, like you can see here. We can also have them on wire works, when you pass bead on wire work, so alluring, so beautifully, especially when you're applying crystals. We can also work with the seed or crystal beads. Yeah, and a lot of them, like we said from the beginning, they add so much beauty and allure to your appearance. So try out and work with beads today, and then you'll be glad you did. It's the very luxurious material to work with in headpieces. And at this point, I would like to appreciate us for your time and for paying attention so far. I believe you have learned one or two things about beads today, and I would like to invite us to Creative Milliners Association to take part in this great association that is adding value to every milliner and lovers of millinery. And once more, I would like to appreciate Lady Becky Uche, the boss lady and the president of this association. Once again, I remain Esther Marshall, the project architect of every work that goes out of Gio's Head Wrap Production Studio. Thank you so much for your attention. God bless you. You're welcome.